Raccoon hyphen 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 Formers. What does that spell? Raccoon-Formers, yeah! Raccoon-Formers, the YouTube channel for all of your Transformer needs.
Hello everyone, Raccoon-Formers here, and welcome to part 2 of my Transformers Studio Series 86 Wave 2 ranking video. In part 1 of this video that I made way back in August of last year, I ranked all of the figures that were added to the second wave of the Studio Series 86 line, toy-wise, and how well they are as toys. And in part 2, which is today's video, I will be making a video ranking all of the characters that were added to Wave 2 movie-wise and how well they are in the movies. Which is exactly what I did with Wave 1 of the Studio Series 86 line in these two videos here. The three characters that I will be ranking in today's video are Slug, Gnaw, and Wreck-Gar. Three phenomenal characters. This is going to be a hard ranking video because they're all cool. Anyway, y'all, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started, y'all. Taking the third spot on my list has got to go to Slug. Don't get me wrong, there's enjoyment to be had with this character, like that cool scene where he was super polite to the quintessence that he squished where he said this.
Excuse me!
And the scene where Grimlock and Slug were bickering, giving each other weird nicknames.
Me, Grimlock, say you full of cesium salami.
Beverly and baloney!
And Slug is a Dinobot, and the Dinobots are some of the coolest characters ever, but Slug didn't have a lot to do in the 1986 film, because it was mainly focused on newer characters. So Slug and the other Dinobots sort of took a back seat. The Dinobot that had the most to do was Grimlock, so Slug was more like a second-in-command almost, that didn't have much to do. So he falls short for me a little, you know? And I wish he and Daniel Witwicky had more of an interaction, because Studio Series 86 Slug comes with a Daniel minifigure that you can put on Slug's back. It would have been cool if there was a scene in the 1986 film where Daniel actually rode Slug and maybe had a cool chemistry together. That would have been really cool. And if that was the case, Slug definitely would have been higher on this list, without a doubt. But because he didn't have that much of an interaction with Daniel, and Daniel never actually rode Slug, Slug falls short and is my least favorite. He still is an awesome character, just my least favorite out of the three characters I'm ranking today. But he's still cool, just not my favorite. Taking the second spot on my list goes to Wreck-Gar. Wreck-Gar is definitely an awesome character, and the filmmakers must have thought so as well, because in the opening credits for the 1986 film, the very first person who was credited was the person who voiced Wreck-Gar, Eric Idle. So what really frustrates me is the fact that Wreck-Gar didn't have a lot to do in the film. It was very far into the film before Wreck-Gar even made an appearance. He wasn't in the battle for Autobot City at all. Yes, I know he technically really isn't an Autobot. He's a Junkian living on the planet of junk. But it would have been nice if he had a lot more to do, especially considering that his voice actor was the first one credited. But he does have good qualities. Eric Idle gave a very awesome performance as Wreck-Gar, and I especially love how he talks TV. He definitely talks like he's someone on TV, trying to sell something to you.
TV! We talk TV!
If Wreck-Gar had more screen time in the movie, he probably would have been number one, but he's not. But he still is super cool, and once I show you my number one pick, you'll see why. Taking the first spot on my list has to go to Gnaw, aka the leader of the Sharkticons. The Sharkticons are essentially Transformers' version of the Rancor from Star Wars. The Rancor in Star Wars is a creature that lives under Jabba the Hutt's palace, and Jabba the Hutt feeds people who displease him to the Rancor, and the Sharkticons basically serve that exact purpose to the quintessence judges. If the quintessence judges find someone who displeases them, they get dumped into the Sharkticon pool. And I definitely really like that concept. The Sharkticons are menacing, which is the reason why they took the number one pick on my list. I really hope Hasbro decides to make repaints of Studio Series Gnaw into other Sharkticons. That would be really cool. But Gnaw is definitely an awesome character and definitely worthy of the top pick on this list. Anyway, that's my ranking of the characters that were added to Wave 2 of the Studio Series 86 line movie-wise. But my list isn't the best list, it's just my list, and I'd love to hear how you'd rank these characters down in the comments. Well friends, this pretty much wraps up this ranking video. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to click that big red subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a future video. Now that I've made the second part of this ranking video, now I'll be able to start making video reviews of the figures that were added to Wave 3 of the Studio Series 86 line. Those figures consist of Studio Series 8610 Sweep, Studio Series 8611 Perceptor, and Studio Series 8612 Coronation Starscreen. Expect video reviews on those figures coming very, very soon. After I make my review on Studio Series Grinder, of course, because that's the next video review that I was going to make, as I stated in my Bumblebee Movie RC video. But I'll make sure to keep you posted on when those 3 video reviews will be ready, I promise. So check out my community tab every now and then to see the stats. So yeah, I'll keep you posted, I promise. Anyway, that's all I have to say. As always, I'm Raccoon-Formers, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.